Good morning.
What is happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to yet again another video. Today we are going to be flashing in our Cary Jordan custom base map into the F87 M2 N55B. This video is going to be a little bit different than other flash videos that I've made with Boot Mode and Pro Tuning Freaks. This video is actually going to be filmed over a few weeks, and I'm going to give you guys the entire process from when I initially bought the tune to when the car goes through all of the revisions and everything and we are all set and done. The reason it takes a few weeks is custom tunes take a while. So I think that there is a lot of confusion when it comes to custom tunes, and I'm learning as well, and I just want to share that knowledge as I learn, and hopefully you guys find some value out of this, and this helps you decide if a custom tune is really for you. Then we will of course take the car back to the dyno at CES and see if we've improved on the horsepower numbers and torque numbers. If you guys saw recently, I made a video talking about how we can flash with our phones using boot mode and this cable that goes into our lightning port. Well, for this video, I'm actually going to use the laptop for a few reasons. It's just easier to see the entire screen, and I want to show you guys all of the data. When we do the data logging, when we actually jump in the car and go do the data logging, I will in fact use the phone, but for the flashing purpose, I will use my laptop. That's just because it is a bigger screen and it's easier for you guys to read it. At the end of this video, you guys, I'm going to give you the full timeline. So from when I bought the map from Keys Motorsports to when I received my first initial base map, to when I flashed it, to when I got my first revision, to all the way to when we actually finished the car, went through all the revisions, and it was good to go. So please do stick around. At the end of the video, you will see that entire timeline. Now I'm going to show you guys the base map that we've received from Cary Jordan, the instructions that I have. We're going to go ahead and flash the car. All right, so here are all of my maps. I have my stock tune, of course. I have my stage 1 93 octane. I have my stage 2 93 octane, and then I have my custom Cary Jordan map at the bottom here. You'll see it says 98 RON. That is in fact 93 octane. It's custom tune, stock turbo, stock fuel system. So when you guys first purchase your custom map from Cary Jordan off of Keys Motorsports website, you will get a confirmation email from Keys Motorsports. From there, you're gonna go ahead and hop into your boot mode portal, and you're gonna wanna send a custom tune request over to Cary Jordan. After you send out the custom tune request, you will get an email back from Cary Jordan confirming that you have in fact bought the map from them. You'll need to give them things like your email, your name, your Instagram handle, all the stuff that ties into your car and your license. You cannot just go and buy a custom tune. That's not really how it works. You have to have a boot mode license. So that means that you have to buy the bundle first, and then you can go ahead and buy a custom tune. So a custom tune doesn't cost less than boot mode itself, because the custom tune is like $500 some, boot mode is like $600 some. You need to buy boot mode, get yourself a license, and then you can go ahead and buy the custom tune from Cary Jordan. So it's like $1,100, somewhere in that range. Yes, custom tunes are really expensive. Why? Because they're custom. They're custom to your car. If you guys don't want to spend that kind of money, then that's why they have the off-the-shelf maps for you. Stage 1, Stage 2. And I do have to say, my car is running Stage 2 right now on boot mode, and it feels amazing. So I'm honestly super excited to feel how much better this custom tune performs on this car. So hopefully that clears some stuff up for you guys. But after you send in your request, you're gonna see down below, there's a big comment section underneath the map in the map details. It's gonna say, hello, thank you for your purchase, yada, yada, yada. And then it's gonna ask you to confirm everything. And then what's gonna happen is Cary Jordan is going to send you over a base map. You're gonna need to go ahead and flash that base map and then go ahead and do data logs. So what are data logs? We are gonna be doing some data logs, so I can show you guys exactly what that means today. But basically, after we flash the base map, we wanna hop in the car, bring up our dashboard on boot mode through the phone, and run some data logs in third gear, wide open throttle from 2,000 to 7,000 RPM. I think it's somewhere in there. We're gonna do that 3 times. We're gonna do that consistently 3 times. So Cary Jordan can then take that data after we send it back to him and revise the tune. Make sure the car is driving well, make sure that all of the power graphs look good, and then from there we'll get another revision. So it's kind of like a ping pong effect. We're just gonna go back and forth and work out these revisions until the car is completely dialed. So if you guys wanna do something like dyno tuning, that is a different setup. And I do believe you have to pay more if you want to get him with you live on a dyno and actually tune the car, because obviously it takes a little more time and it's a little more specific. We will in fact be doing that, but I will not be doing that until we go pure stage 2 and upgrade all the fueling. I just don't want to put that kind of time and money into a tune on the stock turbo and stock fueling when I know that inevitably I'm going to be upgrading that And once we do, then we will go ahead and put a little more time into another tune that is dyno tuned for this car. So after we flash in this base map here, we are gonna go ahead and hop in the car and do some data logging. And you guys can see right here, it says from 2.5 to 7K RPM. So wide open throttle means all the way open, obviously. What you wanna do is when you are data logging, you wanna make sure that you start the data log and you start the RPMs before the actual RPMs that they want. So if it's at like 2.5 to 7K, you're probably gonna wanna go from like 1K all the way up to 7.5K. Give them everything that they need in between there. When you're under your dashboard, this is where the data log happens. And if you see over here, you have auto log. So when you hit auto log, and your vehicle is connected, when you're driving and you hit open throttle, as soon as you press down open throttle with auto log on, it starts logging. So you really want to make sure that when you're auto logging, you start the wide open throttle pull before the RPMs that they ask from you. So they're asking for 2.5, I'm going to do it at like 2 or 1.5. And then I'll give them the data log all the way through to like 7, 7.25, 7.5, something like that. So as you can see, we have all my stuff here, and Cary Jordan, of course, gives you all the instructions. It's pretty self-explanatory from there on out. After we do those 3 data logs from 2.5 to 7K RPM, we will be doing a little bit of driving around to just give them some basic driving behaviors in a data log so they can see kind of how the car is performing just under normal daily driving. They say that it's best to turn traction control completely off, so DSC completely off when you do all these pulls. Once you have finished all the data logs, please request an update from within the map, and that will notify us that you're finished and ready for us to view your data logs. We can see your data logs from there, and we will make the needed changes. So at this point in the process, we do need to go ahead and flash in the base map, and then we're going to do a little bit of driving around, let the car kind of get used to that base map before we do any wide open throttle pulls. I do want to note, you guys, I'm running right now the stage 2 tune. It is important to understand that a base map isn't necessarily going to give you a ton of power and feel great right off the bat. That is what the revisions are for. That's why those are there. You really need to go through that revision process to dial in that tune, and that's where we're going to see the big gains. I don't know how many revisions we're going to do. Like I said, this is my first time ever doing a custom tune, but I think all of this information is really important, and I will share it with you guys, and hopefully that will help you determine whether a custom tune is good for you. So without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and hop in the car and start the flash process on the base map, and then we'll do some data logging. All of the essentials. All right, you guys, so we have our OBD2 cable plugged in, going to our Ethernet into our computer, firing up the boot mode driver agent right now. As you can see, seatbelt is fastened on the car. Make sure you guys have that done. Car's in accessory mode, lights are off, air is off. And so we are going to go ahead and make sure, yep, so our OBD is connected, we're good there. Let's go hop into our maps, and we have our base map right here. It says that first we need to go into our configurations and change a few things. Before flashing this file, please go into user configuration panel of this custom file and verify all the settings are correct to your setup. If you are using a 3.5 bar T-map, map, high flow, downpipes, etc. If you aren't sure what a setting does, do not touch it. Please contact us first for clarification. Once you have verified the correct settings and you've made the changes, go ahead and hit save, and then flash the file after reading the information below. So let's go ahead and open up the configurations. The exhaust burbles, I'm just gonna do OTS, which is the same setup that I have right now. I don't do the startup roar, it's not for me. Yeah, so we are using OEM ignition coils. We can go ahead and set that. The catalytic converter reader, we are turning all that off so we don't get a check engine light. I obviously do not have cats in this car. And then that should be everything. Go ahead and save our changes. Go back down to our Cary Jordan map. All right, so that should be everything. It looks like we are good. Let's go ahead and flash this, and then we'll take the car out and do some data logs. Flash now, flash. All right, so right now it is downloading the map. Since we already have unlocked our DME and we're running a stage 2 boot mode map, this should go by pretty quick. But I will update you guys as soon as it's finished here, and I'll let you know how long it takes. You guys are gonna get a bunch of errors and stuff when this happens, when you're downloading the map. It's normal. Part of the process. Let it do its thing. It is flying through it though, man. I mean, look at that. Let's go. That's right, baby. Map is officially flashed. We will wait 5 seconds, hop in the car, turn it on, go for a little cruise, allow the car to learn the new map a little bit, and then we will do our data logging. Starts up nice. Good idle. So we have our OBD adapter here for the phone. Let's go ahead and plug it in. and I'll show you guys the data logging process. All right, we can logged in, got our stuff connected here. We're gonna go to dashboard. This is where all of the data logging is gonna happen. I'm gonna go ahead and set my stuff up over here out of the way, and we're gonna hit auto log once we're ready. I'll turn on the screen record so you guys can see the stuff that I'm recording on the phone. But you can see if you go to data logs, you can actually see your previous data logs here, and that's where all of them will end up. All these fresh data logs will be the data logs that are sent over to Cary Jordan on my base map, and he will make revisions based on these data logs. So let's cruise around a little bit, let the car get used to this tune just for a minute, and then we'll go ahead and throw it in all traction control off mode and do some data logging. So we are looking for 3 pulls, 3rd gear. We're gonna try and go from 1.5 RPMs up to 7 1/4. All right, we're at 1.5 and go. Data log is started. I mean, you have to go really slow and really fast all the way through 1 gear, so it's kind of hard. You have to find a really good stretch of road. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere in Mexico. I'm gonna go ahead and get 2 more just like that. All right, bring her down to 1.5 and log. So when you're in auto log, it's automatically data logging these for you every time you pull. But you always want to make sure that you start a little bit ahead of what they're requesting and end a little bit behind what they're requesting. So you make sure that you get that full pull for them. They got to have all that data in there. Burbles on the OTS setting for this map are interesting. They're much more reserved than what I had before, and I think I really like it. The burbles on the OTS Stage 2 map are pretty aggressive, and it kind of just got to a point where I got annoyed of it. It's much more subdued in this map, and I think I really like it. And 1.5. So that is our 3rd data log for 3rd gear pull. So we'll go ahead and end that data log session. It says we now have 3 logs ready. You can see those logs are in here. So now Cary Jordan can see these logs. We can also send them to people. We can email them, whatever we want to do. We'll also need some general driving around on the same data log as well. First 2nd gear pull I've done. That's aggressive, dude. Ew. This feels good. This feels really good. The power feels really clean. When you're switching gears, like 2nd to 3rd, the transitions between gears feel really smooth, and the power just continues to pull. There's no lag whatsoever. It's just a consistent, linear power. Feels really good. I'm really excited to get through the rest of these revisions and dyno again. I think we're gonna see some pretty impressive numbers out of a stock turbo and a stock fuel system. I've been driving around for about an hour and a half on this tune just to kind of get used to it, feel out different gears. For sure this map is it's faster than Stage 2, for sure. Yeah, it just pulls, man. It feels so good. Like the OTS Stage 2, it felt good, but it didn't feel as smooth. I think that this one is just much more tailored to my car. And so it just makes more sense with this car. But yeah, it feels awesome, man. For just like the first base map, whew, I'm impressed. All right, back home. So that part of the job is done. I'm gonna run inside and send over these data logs over to Cary Jordan, and then we just wait. It is the holiday weekend, so it's probably not gonna be ready until next week. We get a revision map, and then we'll go ahead and flash again with that revision and go for another drive, do the same process all over again. So I will see you guys shortly here. For you, it will be seconds. For me, it will be days. Day 2. We got a revision back, guys. Yes, sir. New revision is up. Please flash and log for me, raising boost some more. I mean, if he wants to raise boost, I am not going to complain about that. I'm gonna flash it, hop in the car, we're gonna data log. I'll just show you each data log, kind of tell you what I think, how I feel about the revision. Does it feel any different? And then we'll just keep doing this until we're finished with the entire revision process. Let's get to it. Crazy how fast this thing flashes. All right, getting ready to go, data log. You guys, I'm running a new mount now. I actually didn't even have a phone mount before, but this one is super dope. I'll have it linked down below. This is the best one that I can find for the M2. So the magnet is really, really strong. As you guys will see, I'll be doing data logs and this will not move. So there's actually little screws on each corner and they just grab onto this centerpiece. This fits all F series. So the problem with the Renline one is it has that long aluminum piece that comes off and it shakes a lot. This one, rock tight. You guys are looking for a phone mount, that's the way to go, especially in the F87 because you really don't have anywhere to put it. And it's perfect for data logging. Turn sideways, this way. Apparently we have some increased boost on this map. Oh dude, I'm stoked. So the second set of data logs are in the books, and now we just send them back to Cary Jordan and we wait for that second revision. But in conclusion, the car feels really good. I mean, it felt good on the base map, but I did see about 20 pounds, either 19 or 20 pounds of boost, which is, so he definitely upped the boost. I think we were at 18 before. So you're definitely playing that gamble between how much can the stock turbo actually take with boost, because you don't want to go too heavy on boost, man. You can start blowing shit up. But overall, the car feels really, really good. I actually had a run against a S7, so Audi S7, which isn't like the fastest car, but it's a pretty quick car. For a land yacht, it's a pretty quick car. So I immediately put like bus lengths on this guy. Like it just destroyed him. Like it was like not even a fair race. And if I still have the footage, I'll insert it right here. And that was just on the base map. So first set of revisions feel really, really good. But you guys know the drill already. I'll get the new log file back and then I will flash it and we'll do the same thing over and over again. So I will see you guys when we get the new revised map back from Cary Jordan. What is happening, guys? Day 3. This is the final revised map from Cary Jordan. We're gonna go ahead and flash in this finalized map. I'm gonna read you guys Cary's notes that he has on this tune. Then I will go ahead and give you guys my final thoughts on this entire tuning process. And I'm also going to throw in the entire timeline of how long it took from the point that I purchased the actual map from Keys Motorsports to get the first tune, the revisions, and the finished product. So looking at the finalized map, here are the comments that Cary laid down for me. Looking good, brother. Can't really push the boost any higher. We're starting to slightly dip the rail pressure due to the OEM high pressure fuel pump. It's running very well. However, just can't push it any farther. We're basically at the max for the stock high pressure fuel pump and your 98 RON rail. The next step is to add an aftermarket high pressure fuel pump or add some other form of auxiliary fueling and also increase the octane. Methanol injection would help with both, but we still recommend a better high pressure fuel pump to keep the pressure in line. It was a pleasure tuning your car. Hope you enjoy it. Stay safe, have fun, and God bless you and your family. First of all, thank you so much, Cary, for working with me. This has been a really, really awesome process and educational. To be honest with you, I've learned so much as we've gone through this tuning process, and my car has never felt better, you guys. I'm just gonna say it right here and right now before I even flash this finalized map. The car feels incredibly good. It's never driven this well. It's never driven this strong. The torque is very punchy. The power bands feel very clean, which I think is like the most important part. And it feels reliable. It doesn't feel like I'm gonna run this car into any issues with the tune that I currently have on it. And that's really the gamble that you're playing. How much boost can you get out of it with the fueling that you have? You all know that at this point, you know, you're limited by your fueling. That is pretty much the wall you're going to hit. Your fueling and your turbo, and then I think next up would be like your clutch. Those are the three things that are really gonna limit you from getting any higher numbers. But at the end of the day, you guys, I just wanna remind you, chasing numbers is probably not the best way. I mean, it depends on what your goals are, but for me personally, I'm not trying to chase numbers. I'm really happy with where the car is at right now. I think it drives fantastically well, and it's very powerful for what the car is. I don't really see too much of a need to go any crazier. We will be doing the upgraded turbos. We will be doing the upgraded fueling. That's inevitable because I want to be able to run this car at the level that it's at right now, maybe a little bit higher, but very reliably and not have to worry about any issues down the road. And in order to do that, you inevitably do have to upgrade your fueling setup, upgrade your turbo setup. These are things that you are going to have to address if you just want to be able to run the car at this level for a long amount of time. So without rambling too much, let's go ahead and flash in this final map, and then we'll hop in the car, go for another drive. And then, like I said before, we'll jump into the actual timeline showing you everything from the moment that I bought the tune to now. All right, you guys know the dilly. Accessory power on, seatbelts on, the air and everything is off. Let's go ahead and go up to our map here. So this is the finalized map, you guys. All right, you guys know the drill. Wait 5 seconds, hop in the car, start it up. If you remember last time on the last revision, we were around 19, 20 pounds of boost, which is a lot of boost on the stock turbo. So you definitely don't want to go above that on the stock turbo and the stock fueling, and that's obviously why we halted it at this point. But you can definitely tell that what CJ did was we increased the boost and he cleaned up the timing. You guys remember from the last dyno video, my timing was all over the place. He cleaned up the timing, and the poles are super consistent, so the power bands are really, really nice, and you can feel it. So just doing a little bit of driving around right now, and the car feels, dude, it feels so good. I'm just doing some like long, light accelerations, kind of letting the gears play all the way out. It looks like we're at about the same amount of boost, which is right around 19 and a half, which I think is a safe. That makes me feel comfortable. I don't know that I would want to go much further than that, but the car feels like really, really good. Power just pulls consistently all the way through. There's no dips, there's no bogs. It's just clean, man. It just feels clean. I'm really excited to get on the dyno next week and see what this thing is doing, because it's one thing to have a tune and feel it, but it's another to see it. And now that we've already dynoed the car on the OTS Stage 2 map, I'm really curious to see the difference between this map and that map, and just like the power bands and how much power we actually put down. In terms of guessing how much power we're gonna put down, I have no idea. Like, I literally have no clue where we're at in terms of power. If I had to guess, look, we put down 403 to the wheels last time. I don't know, 420 maybe is where we're at? I don't know. Right now, we're so high up for this fueling and this turbo that the car just feels really good. And everything that we're making beyond now is just kind of marginal. Like, it's not a massive difference, but there's enough there to feel it. So there we are, fully Jordan tuned. Super happy with the results, man. The car is never driven this well, and it feels so good. I know it's a little bit hard to convey the feeling of a tune or like how fast a car really feels through a video, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it. The car feels really good. I've been on the OTS maps. I've done stage 1, stage 2, and then now the Cary Jordan tune. And by far the biggest jumps are stage 1 to stage 2, and then stage 2 to a custom tune. By far the biggest jump. I think that what you'll notice the most out of a custom tune is just like the cleanliness of the power, the way that the car pulls a little bit more consistently, and it just feels like the car is running better. Like the car just runs better throughout all the gears. And beyond that, also the way that the car sounds. It has a much different tone to it, and it's hard to describe, but it just sounds a lot better. It sounds way more consistent. And you could even tell in the data logs, when I was watching the data logs compared to the ones that were on the dyno, they were much cleaner. The power bands were much more smooth. That breaking up in the end wasn't there anymore. It just felt overall like a much better setup for this car. So like I said before, you guys, I'm gonna throw in that timeline from when I bought the tune to now, today, the finished product of the tune flash on this car right here. All right, so a couple of things I want to point out. June 22nd, I purchased my map from Keys Motorsports and Cary Jordan, and then I finally received my base map 8 days later. However, they don't operate over the weekends, so I don't think it's really fair to consider the weekends as part of those days. We'll just say it took 6 days to receive my first base map from Cary Jordan after giving him all of my information and everything that's on my car. So on June 30th, we received the base map, and then I didn't flash right away, so I actually had stuff going on. So that time in between there from June 30th to July 4th, obviously we don't count that either because that's on my end. I just didn't flash it until the 4th. So on the 4th, I go ahead and flash it, which is Independence Day. And it's also a Saturday, so that Saturday and Sunday are not included in this either. But we receive my revised map back on the 7th. So technically that would be 2 days, just Monday and Tuesday. I receive it back on that Tuesday, go ahead and flash the revisions, and then I get the finalized map back the next day. So really you're only waiting for that initial map. You have about a week until that base map gets to you, and then from there it's a very seamless and quick process. He makes revisions within 24 hours for the most part. And so yeah, overall, rather quick process. Obviously a little bit different than off the shelf. Off the shelf is already made to go, so it does take a little bit of time to get you your custom map. So you guys saw the timeline. That gives you an idea of how long it actually takes to get a custom tune made for your car. It takes a while. So this is definitely one of those things. I don't think a custom tune is for everyone. I think custom tunes are tailored more towards people who are a bit more serious about getting more power out of their car consistently and reliably. The biggest thing for me is I feel like this car can handle where we're at. And Cary Jordan didn't try to push it too far. As you guys can see in the last revision, he even said, you know, we're kind of at the limit right now, about 19 and a half pounds of boost. That's about as far as you would want to take it without upgrading the fueling and everything, which we are going to be doing. But overall, in my conclusion, I really think that this tune is 100% worth it. The ease of working with Cary Jordan has been fantastic. The guys over there are super professional, responsive. They helped me out and educated me along the way of tuning my car on this custom map. Like I had mentioned previously, I had never done a custom tune before, so this was a learning process for me, and I just wanted to bring you guys along for the ride as well. As you guys saw, everything that was in this video, the tune, the cables, everything will be linked down below. If you guys need any of that, go ahead and hit the links, check it out. You can also check out my website. We have the blog up. Every modification that I've ever made on any of my builds is on my website. I know that this was a longer video today, but I thank you guys so much for sticking around. If you have made it this far, please drop a comment that I am a real one. Comment I am a real one down below if you've made it this far, because I know this is a longer video and some people are just not into the longer content. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please do subscribe, comment down below, like this video, hit that bell notification, and just like that, this video is over and we are out. Peace.
Ooh.